Hey everyone. In this video, I want to share with you a quick dating tip, which is catch up in person, not via text. This is a tip more for the men because women will probably disagree with me here, but I'll explain this a bit better. But basically, from my own experience, I have learned that texting all the time starts to kind of have this weird effect where it kind of diminishes attraction. And I have some idea of why this may be the case psychologically, but in other cases I don't really understand it to some degree. But it has always worked out this way from my own experience. When I listen to a woman who tells me she wants me to text her more, it usually ends up not working out. So now I actually don't listen to them when they say this, and I just say, hey, look, if you want someone who's going to text you every single day, that's not me. Sorry, that's just not what I do. I don't really care for texting all that much because it is the truth. I used to not text women every day, and then I started doing that for some of them who asked me to do it, and it just was being inauthentic and I didn't enjoy it, and it usually led to the attraction dwindling a bit and then them eventually going away. So here's why I think this works out the way that it does, where it starts to diminish attraction. One is because it starts to make you super available. She can reach out to you at any moment and you'll respond. Even if it takes you like half an hour to an hour, you're likely going to respond to her because you like her. So she starts to realize that, hey, you're always there. You're always available. And while this doesn't necessarily seem like a bad thing, there's a lot of attraction when it comes to dating, or even when people are in relationships, where you get this buildup of tension and excitement the longer you go without seeing or talking to your partner. So for instance, for people in relationships, if somebody's romantic partner goes off on a business trip for a week or two, then when they come back, inevitably in their relationship, the next date that they go on is going to be incredible because they have all this information, all this time to catch each other up on. The guy or girl will be telling his partner or her partner about what they did on the business trip and how it went, what the weather was like, and all sorts of things. So it creates this tension and excitement that they then get to release when they meet up in person. But when you're texting all the time and keeping each other up to date on what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, suddenly that excitement and that tension starts to diminish because now they know exactly what you're doing every single day. And for most of us, our daily lives really aren't exciting at all. So keeping them up to date on that is kind of not even very interesting to begin with. So it's far better to wait until you see them in person and then to catch them up on everything you've been doing. There's just something about that. The more someone is available to you, the less value they have in your eyes, even if you don't consciously realize it. It's kind of like dealing with gold. Gold has value because it's a rare mineral. It's a rare substance. You can't readily find it. But dirt has no value because it's everywhere. You can find it anywhere you go on the planet. So that's why gold has all this value relative to dirt. Gold is scarce. So the more available you are to someone, they start to diminish your value in their eyes. Even if you have a lot of it, it's just because you're so available. Now, I'm not saying to purposely make yourself be less available. I'm just saying do you and then catch up in person instead of texting all the time. And there's also problems that can arise from texting. For instance, jokes can sometimes not land all that well. Speaking from experience here, where the tone of voice and the energy behind what you say doesn't carry over via text. So they could also lead to a lot of miscommunication where they interpret what you said in a way that you didn't intend, and that can create problems. But at the end of the day, I've just learned that meeting up in person, that's where all the magic happens. So texting all the time, I just don't see much value in it. I do think that because of these psychological reasons, it just starts to diminish the attraction. And I've found that to be the case in my own life. So this video is just me trying to impart what has happened to me, hoping that it will help other people. Because I can tell you, now that I don't text women all the time when I'm dating them, because I just don't want to, it leads to better interactions, and they'll actually stick around longer than before when I would be trying to text them every single day because I thought that was the only way to keep the attraction going when it was doing the opposite. Ironic how that works, right? So I'm sure the women may not quite agree with me here, because quite often women are the ones who tell men that they want the man to text her every single day. But guys, look, here's the thing. The way you are when a woman becomes interested in you is the way you should stay throughout the relationship. She was interested in you for a reason. The way that you were is what attracted her. If you start changing yourself in a bunch of small ways when you're not already a bad person who needs to change, you're actually going to change into someone that she probably won't be attracted to anymore, because you're changing away from the man that you were that ended up attracting her in the first place. So if she says she wants you to text her all the time and you don't normally do that, and you start changing to accommodate her, you're going to start changing into someone that she may not find attractive, and also all the neediness and loss of attraction that comes with that daily contact that I mentioned earlier. So that's probably the biggest pro tip I could give you at the very end of this video. Yeah, just stay who you were when you attracted her, provided you're a good person. If you're an asshole and you think that's a good thing, come on, work on yourself. You basically want to combine the good parts of a bad guy and the good parts of a nice guy, and that's how you become what I like to call an extraordinary gentleman. I'll have to talk about that more so that becomes a more common term, but I hope to make it one. But anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!